So I'm going to open the meeting of the Committee of Committees meeting for December 6th, 2022 at 7. I'm going to do roll call first. I have committee members Chris Samples.
Here.
John Talbot. William Luxinger is absent. Nathan Maas.
Here.
Jen Christensen.
Here.
Bill Motisi.
Here.
President Rick Worm is absent. Treasurer Brenda Onavini.
Here.
I-Clerk Sandy Maas am here. Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here.
And Engineer Matt Hansen.
Here.
All right, I will need a motion to make an appointment for somebody to be President Pro Tem for this meeting.
I'll make a motion, make Chris Samples Mayor Pro Tem for this meeting.
Second.
Right, John made a motion to appoint Chris Samples as President Pro Tem for this meeting, and Nathan seconded. I will take a roll call on that. Jen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Nathan?
Yes.
Chris?
I'll abstain.
All right, and William is absent.
Going power.
Chris,
No.
this is your meeting.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
No, I don't think so. Does Rick have anything for us? Oh, wait, sorry. We got to do the, John, you want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Oh, sure, why not? I'll make a motion to approve the November 1st, 2022 special meeting of the village board minutes.
Second.
All right, John makes a motion to approve the special meeting. The November 1st, 2022 special meeting of the village board minutes. And Jen seconded.
You do it all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, aye.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? Sorry.
Right.
I guess not, because we all said aye. Does Rick have anything?
He does not.
All right. How about you?
I do. Can you hear me through your headphones?
Yes.
Okay. So I have the discussion of the lots in Ogle Crossing. So we have those 3 lots out there that have the open basements that we have kind of been trying to figure out what to deal with out there. I received a phone call from a gentleman who is going to end up hopefully acquiring them through a tax sale in May. Through a tax foreclosure in May. He has already obtained them through the tax sale. If nobody redeems them, he has already started the process to foreclose his rights on the taxes out there. He touched base with us as we have a lien on the property and to see if the village had any interest in the lots once he acquires them, whether that be in assisting in him completing the project or purchasing the lots or just whatever that may be. I told him I would need to talk to the board. He did ask for copies of the plans of the house, and I'm going to verify, but I don't believe I can give them out since he's not the homeowner or the lot owner. I don't even think you can FOIA them. So I was going to verify that with Dan Bolin next week. But he also said that there's the liens on the property and whether the liens would be released as a part of him going to deed and acquiring the properties or what we would be interested in doing.
Wouldn't it be more that if he was going to
Pay off
take
the
care?
lien.
No, take care of, I'm not so much worried about the money as I am with him taking care of the basements. That's my concern is, just him buying the property doesn't mean anything. Him wanting to improve it would be fine.
I mean, I would be willing to entertain something if he was going to do something quickly on the properties once they're obtained.
Yeah, to improve the basement.
Really a mute point until all his paperwork is done.
So he knows that the village has started the process of looking into the removal of the basements ourselves and just foreclosing our own liens. And so really it's whether we continue down that process or wait to see if his process occurs. The downside to that is it is May. It's like the first week of May before he can confirm his foreclosure. And so one, there's the option that somebody could come in and redeem them. So that would stop the foreclosure action. Or by that point in May, we are really far into the spring, almost summer, and the maintenance of the lots again. I don't know that he has the financial means in which to remove the basements, which is why he was reaching out to see if the village would be interested in the lots to remove the basements. Or, as he said, to finish building the homes. But last I checked, we're not home builders.
I guess we should.
I don't know what's going to be in our best interest monetary wise. but I don't think we should be removing those basements. Uh, because then we would have, that would be added to the lien, would also, probably further delay the process that he wants to do. Not mentioning that anything that Dan Boland might come up with. I can't speak, for our attorneys, but they usually will do things in our best interest.
Here's where we're at on this bill. I'm actually working with Mark Heinley, not Dan Boland, on this particular project.
Okay,
Dan will just be here next week, but the dilemma is the village is going to come out of pocket in some way, shape or form on this, whether it be our lien that we end up foreclosing, whether it be us removing the basements and then liening the property and then attempting to seek reimbursements, which we will never see. I equate this to the mold house. It's just going to be a loss, but we have to do it for the safety of the residents. And so we just have to figure out whether or not you want me to continue working with Mark to find out what our options are and continue down that path, or whether you want to wait and see what happens. And then this gentleman wants to know if we're also interested in purchasing the lots from him if he acquires them.
Did he give a price?
He did not.
Why would we do that when we can get them anyway?
I think he's just fishing around because
So we're, because it's us getting them by expending attorney's fees or us potentially getting them at a cheaper cost without having to go through the foreclosure of our lien process.
Almost makes it sound like he's doing that as a business.
That's what.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, it's a smart
It is.
play for him.
It was. It was. It really was. I was
Yeah,
very
well done.
impressed by his forethought.
And he's already
on that.
calling and everything else. This is not his first rodeo.
So if we stare down at Mark, he might not end up buying it because he's gonna see it's gonna cost some money.
Yeah.
We could just play it that way and then go after him buying them ourselves.
I'd like to
Yeah.
do whatever the best,
right.
We're gonna
Right.
end
most
up,
fiscal, responsible approach is.
and I don't know what that is, so that's why I'm here.
Well, I say you can.
And we don't have to have an answer now. It is
Yeah.
something you guys
So-
can mull over.
So he bought the taxes and then now if they don't, the person that owes the taxes doesn't pay him, he can force a lien on the.
He's already filed for foreclosure of
He
the
owns the taxes.
taxes.
He owns
Because he owns
Right,
the
Right.
taxes.
So he'll get this and then he'll own the properties and then he doesn't really feel like forking off the cash
Yeah.
to clean it up.
I think
So
we'd be in a better
he
negotiation.
would be quick sale of however he wanted to get rid of them. And for whatever the taxes were, right? So I can't imagine
Yeah.
the taxes were very much on it and whatever point he
So
got.
so in reality, we'd be better off waiting and not putting any more pressure because if he buys them then and doesn't really come to the price that we feel we want to pay, then we just put pressure on.
How much of a lien do we have
Real-
on it?
That is really
Yeah,
it,
right.
huh?
How much is the lien on it? Or
Our
I've
lien is
discussed
just a
this.
mowing lien, which gives us the right for foreclosure of the lien in order to obtain property, which is what Mark was looking into.
Which would circumvent his purchase of it if we
It
chose to do
would.
that. Yeah,
It
but that's the
would.
legal approach, correct?
Yes. And it would require us filing a foreclosure action where he's already filing a foreclosure action. He's already doing all that. But the other hand of that is the the owner could come in at any time and purchase the taxes and then negate this, and then we'd be back to where we are right now.
And we're talking about the 3 basements, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he asked about all the lots. I told him no to the others. I felt like that was a pretty confident
Sounds like we need to
decision.
start buying taxes.
No,
Yeah.
I think we just need to
Yeah.
proceed with the way we're going for now. And if he does get them and he wants to give us a better price than what it would cost us to finish out, that's an option.
It's not a better price if I went through him. It's a better price to, well, I guess it might be because lawyer costs would be a
It almost sounds like
That's
he
the
just wants.
only thing I was thinking. If the lawyer's
couple bucks
fees,
more for the hourly fee of the lawyer.
right,
Court
just-
costs.
Yeah,
Just sounds like he wants to be the middleman and make a quick buck because that's why.
and that's fine.
Well-
I don't think,
Well, he's finding out he may not
Is
be
he a
able to make.
builder?
builder? No, is he a
No,
builder?
doesn't
No.
sound like it.
no.
Okay, so this might save us money in the long run anyways, because we're not gonna pay lawyer fees by doing this with him, right? Like, or at least.
Well, it
minimal
would be
fees.
minimal of just transfer.
Yeah, something we would have regardless of the situation,
Assuming he gets control.
assuming he gets control.
Because if he gets control, then we're in a negotiating seat. Because once again, if it's not the price we're willing to pay, then we'll just go after him.
I mean,
That would be
that's
the
not
So,
wrong,
I mean,
situation, yeah.
but then we're 6 more months down the road than where we are
True.
now.
Well, that's gonna depend on
But
when he purchases them. And if there's any, liabilities that he's gonna have to pay
I don't know.
Us, yes,
to the, governmental agents, I mean, to the,
Ours.
to the people who were gonna foreclose.
No, so
The
way
bank,
that-
it can't let things go unless they have enough money for everything.
So, to the best of my knowledge, there is not a bank lien on that
Oh, it's a
property.
family trying to do all this.
So we, in doing my research on previous endeavors for our own lien filing purposes, have not been able to locate a bank. So one could have popped up over the last year or two. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but last I looked, there was not a bank lien on the property.
So there is no more outstanding mortgage on the land or anything.
It's not even a house there, Bill.
No,
Mhm.
so
Oh, that
it's,
one's
it really is our lien
Unlikely.
versus
Very unlikely.
him.
Yeah, I like the idea of just waiting till May and finding out what happens with him and then making a decision at that point.
Or slow walking our attorneys.
Just slow walk
Like-
it with Mark so we don't
Right.
lose any ground there. Cause in the end, Nathan, we're still gonna be.
I agree.
money
I
ahead.
think we need to be ready to make,
Yeah.
make a decision, pull the plug.
So we don't lose
immediately,
any ground that way.
Like at that point.
So tell Mark, wait till after the holidays and then start
what happens.
slowly working on this so
Okay.
that in May, we're ready
We're
to
ready to
proceed
go.
quickly if needed.
To
or
do
just-
one of two options, yeah,
Okay.
to either
Cause
go this
You okay with
approach.
that?
or-
yeah,
Yeah, let's wait
ultimately,
and
you don't have to buy it either.
No, which is, I think part of, well, yes and no. My understanding is he's already filed the foreclosure of those.
But that doesn't mean he
units.
has to.
It doesn't mean he has to sign the deed. So,
Then we
Alright.
could get him.
so I'll talk, that's the direction I will give to Mark for now, but that's kind of where we're at.
He'd be inheriting the mess.
Oh.
I mean, no one's gonna do anything till May anyways on the property, even if it was sold or purchased or dug out or.
Yeah,
whatever.
well, if it was us, we'd be in there sooner, but yeah, we'd end up with another lien and then this person runs off and then we end up with nothing again.
what's the association over there in Oval Crossings think about all this? Have they tried to say or do anything about it? I
I'm
know,
going to-
other than complaining, you know.
I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, Bill. I don't know that the village cares, and I. say
I
this
understand that,
nicely
yeah.
Because we really have no,
We have a
we
limited
supersede-
jurisdiction over them.
we supersede their
Right.
authority in this scenario, and so, I have not talked to them and nor do I plan
Wait.
on it.
Okay, in other words, we have not received anything positive from them.
Unless they want to.
I haven't heard anything
financially.
negative
Right,
either.
that's-
I
well,
have not talked to
that-
them about
yeah.
it because it just isn't
Yeah.
necessary.
Well, you can't say
to
that's
know.
positive then, you know, if they haven't responded to us.
Well, I haven't reached out either, though. So
Well,
that's why I'm saying it's kind of
That's
like.
not
a
our
neutral plane.
problem. I don't, okay.
But they've had an opportunity to take
They're aware
action
of
if
it.
they wanted. to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, which they
They're-
haven't,
they're in
because
the
how
same
long,
boat.
how long have those basements been sitting?
2 years.
All right, well, there you go. So they've had
Unless they're
some
willing to
opportunity.
contribute financially.
All right, let's move on. Anything for treasurer,
Yeah.
human resources?
Yes.
Really? There's nothing under your name?
So I have
that happen?
something.
All right, go ahead.
So first I want to thank John for taking his sexual harassment on the Sigma Source
Way to
training.
go, John.
Everybody else, I sent a reminder.
I think I have three.
All you have to do is hit play and go to bed and it just.
And then make sure you take the exam, and then.
You got the answer?
I'll print
There's
your
not an
certificate and
exam.
put it in my
You just said
file.
there was an.
There's
exam.
not an exam,
there's
it
an
just,
exam.
you just verify, no, you just verify that you took the course, that's the
Alright.
exam.
Perfect.
Oh.
Please verify.
That's even better.
So you just hit play and go.
Oh, John.
This is great at meeting notes.
I did watch,
Yeah.
John, I've had so many different, ethics, sexual harassment, credit card training in the last.
Credit card.
but actually I
This
did,
one's kind of interesting.
I did watch it and the way they teach it,
Seems
you
applied
keep like
here.
wondering where they're going with this
Yeah.
as sexual harassment, so you
It's-
kind of,
It's very interesting.
yeah, it is, you kind of
You
get,
think you'd know that?
it wasn't like the one we had before.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't. But
Sorry,
it's-
Brenda, that
Okay.
I totally forgot about it.
All right,
I'm
Now,
the
we
only
have to
one-
do this every year, is that right?
every year, we always.
I
do it
thought
every
once
year.
we took it and it's in our term,
For
you
the
know.
state of Illinois,
Not a
we require it
vaccination.
every year.
Yeah.
And it's in your email. I sent it in your
Yeah.
email.
As
Yeah,
you get
I
older,
got
Bill,
that,
you
yeah.
need it more often.
All right.
Probably true.
So,
I'll take it over to phone with you or something, I don't know.
for now.
All right, so everybody make sure that we take it. I totally
I
forgot.
mean, I
about
gave
it.
the deadline the 12th, so I'll call you guys out on the 13th.
I did it the same night you asked.
I see that too.
The
That
only
was
way to
awesome.
remember.
It was
It's the
awesome.
way to
That's
do it.
exactly what.
Community
Day.
development and event
Hold on, is
committee.
that all you had?
For now.
Oh, okay. Made it sound like you had more than one.
No, for
No,
now.
she said that was it,
Are you
right?
gonna skip
For now.
over
Well, I
Matt?
thought about
Oh, sorry.
it.
Matt's on there?
Thank you for.
Matt?
Oh, he is.
Keep
And I put
continuing.
verify right next to it. Go ahead, Matt. You can go through
Okay,
your
sounds
report.
good. Just a few items. The microsurfacing project is completed, closed out, so I'm gonna be removing that one from the list. Dale got Chris some cost estimates for the Junction Road seal coating for, the A1 was about 42,000, and A2 is about 68,000. And that's for, village limits to, Northwestern Avenue is the location. The Junction Road, sidewalk replacement in front of the fire station, rebid in 2023. I don't know if you, after the first of the year, if you want to get together with
Yeah.
Dale and try to figure out maybe schedule and what you're wanting to do there.
We will.
Okay. And then, nothing with the Edson Road culverts, 72 sidewalks, nothing. Village Hall, nothing. Probably nothing with Plat 10 Harvest Fund ditches until next year. And then the other one, the rebuild downtown and main streets, I did include, saying you just got it today. I did include, kind of the preliminary layout for the subdivision in there. No decisions tonight, but kind of the first step in the process is try to get through planning and zoning and the preliminary plat, final plat for the subdivision. We're not stuck with it. When we submitted the preliminary plans for the grant, we got 8 lots in there. They were all plus or minus 2-acre lots. When we looked at the available lots that are, out at 251, and then what you have here, lot sizes ranged, about 1.5 acres to 3.5 acres. So there's some varying sizes. So I guess the question for the board's gonna be, do you want to just go with make the lots all the same size, and then as people acquire them, they can acquire a full lot and a half. You can re-subdivide within the subdivision if you want, or if you kind of have a feel for maybe what the need is out there. If you want kind of a mixed size of some smaller, some bigger, we can do that. So
What if we get somebody to acquire that wants the bigger size? Like that needs something bigger?
so if we did them all 2 acres and somebody needed 3, we'd probably sell them basically 1.5 lots, and stuff. The odd thing about that would be is now you have that half lot, and stuff, then you gotta try to find another
Smaller use.
another development that could use kind of a 1.5 lots, or you could get to where you could buy, if you needed to, they buy half of that lot and half of the next lot, and they
Or if they
create
just
a
want
lot.
the 2 lots in general?
What are you seeing as the standard commercial lot these days?
Oh, I think it probably varies a little bit. I mean, a lot of the commercial properties, when you look at it, they're along the state highways, they're not necessarily going into subdivisions. They're just buying property and to the size they need and building, kind of like your
Dollar General.
your Dollar General and the gas station out there, Denny. Yeah, they're just buying what they need and building on it. So
Well, Benny's itself without the storage is, do you know how big that is?
A little over 3 acres it has to be for the video gaming.
Is that what it is?
So we're offering 2 acre lots is what you said?
we've got 8.
Thought is.
Yeah, we've got 8 2-acre lots. So the question is, do we want to mix that where we've got some 1.5 acre lots and some 2.5 or 3 acres lots, maybe because I didn't realize that the video gaming has a 3-acre lot minimum, and stuff. If you think that there's those type of uses, you want to allow in.
So it's 13 total, including the area that we wanted to do something with ahead of the time. Is that correct?
What's the total land use out there, the total acreage out?
Good
Is it
question.
24?
I thought it was 25.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I
but
have
there's
that on
also
here.
space for a detention.
I mean, we got
Storm
8,
drain.
yeah, because we got detention at the far end, and then we got the street in there as well. So
Board packet I
Right,
sent
yeah,
you,
yeah.
the one today.
It really doesn't
Well,
matter.
it
You're
says
not locked
8,000,
into
so
whatever
never
you,
mind, that's the
you
buildings.
divide it up to be, right?
No, no, what you'll do is, whatever lot configurations you want, it'll go through planning and zoning, we'll get it approved, we'll get the final plat recorded, and we'll get all those lots pinned. And then when you go to sell, like I said, you don't have to sell them just, lot two. If somebody needs
Yep.
something that's bigger than lot two, then they can do
Right.
lot two and half or 3/4 of lot three if you want to sell it to them. So
Would, do people build on an acre? Just out of curiosity.
you got to take a look at, the site, by the time you figure in these commercial buildings, you're gonna have a regional detention, so they're not gonna have to build detention on their property. But you'll have to take a look at what their use is based off of their building square footage, what they're gonna need for parking. So, a lot of the lot's gonna be eaten up probably by the building and parking areas, so.
Parking is a main source of concern. We've got another lot here in town that several people have attempted to
Yeah,
build on
they're
over the
tapping it
years, but there
underneath
just isn't enough.
and bringing it
space
over.
for Parking for any commercial business.
Well, the building that we're going to build, how many acres is that on?
Two.
That one's on a 2 acre lot for 8,000 square foot building.
All right.
Yep. And we're gonna try to get space for 3 tenants in there
Right.
potentially.
No, I saw that. I'm just thinking that,
Assuming this-
somebody, never mind. I just say we go with 2 and then if we need to subdivide, we
Where's
subdivide.
70?
Yep.
Trying to figure out which one is 70.
That's the safe thing to do.
Take a while.
Yes, I'm sure it's gonna take a long time. John, what's your opinion?
Exactly what I just said. It's gonna take a long time and to hash it out now, it's gonna be a decision we'll make when we
Yeah, I know, but
get closer to.
If everybody's good with that, we'll just proceed with doing the 2 acre lots plus or minus for each one equal.
yeah. No, just so that you can, as long as you
Guess
can
that's
subdivide. I don't see
And
any
with the rate we get back on it, I mean, it's gonna be people
Well,
that have.
I think everyone's gonna want a minimum of 2 probably, right? And then if not more,
freebies.
I mean, I don't see why anyone wanted too much
We'll never
smaller,
make our
so.
money.
Yeah.
Unless
I'd
you're
say-
building a drive-through coffee,
But then you need a half an acre or something, right? For
Well,
a parking lot spot.
But
I
it
mean,
depends on-
so,
I mean, the one over here, the one that you did for Village Hall right over here on the subdivision, I believe is only an acre or right around an acre, and we struggle with interest in it because of its size. And it doesn't allow for around the building necessarily.
Is that the one
access.
behind Dollar General?
Yes.
but somebody, maybe somebody wants to put in a car wash, wouldn't take big footprint for that either.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends what they.
The ones
need.
nowadays.
Yep.
If we can work with them, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
have,
yeah.
other lots.
So the direction everybody's giving is to go
2.
as
I
for
like
the
2.
2
I
acres.
think 2's a good starting point.
Okay.
And then
Sounds good. And then, Sandy,
The freedom to
planning and
adjust.
zoning, do they have scheduled dates or do you schedule that when
They
needed?
are scheduled the first Monday of every month. However, they don't typically meet unless there is something to do.
Okay,
And so if we're gonna need a public hearing, which I believe we're required to do for those.
yeah, the first one, that might be kind of quick with the holidays and stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
we need to shoot for the February.
Yeah.
For the
which would
planning and
also
zoning.
allow Dan and Mark time to put together whatever notices we need.
Okay.
All right, community development. Oh, you're done, Matt?
Yep, I'm good.
Community development events, Jen?
Hey, this last Saturday, we had our community Christmas party at the fire station. It was better than I expected it was gonna be for the first time out of COVID. Everything pretty much just gone, everything. I think people enjoyed themselves. We had Santa and Mrs. Claus. The Emmanuel Church from Lindenwood was there, and I don't know how many, if you guys were there back in 2019, the last party we did, they had brought a color by number drawing of the I think it was the manger scene. The kids did painted it, and they brought back the finished product and was able to show, and it was really neat how the kids were able to do that paint by number, take, little spaces and do it. And they brought crafts and coloring and stuff like that. And we had a bingo game going on and some other crafts, and I think hot chocolate, hot cocoa and cookies, and think everybody that was there had
Cookie son.
a good time. So, I mean, like I said, everything went.
I heard nothing but great things from the
That's good.
people who attended.
And then, next thing on my calendar, the blood drive, January 17th. It'll be 2:30 to 6:30. Right now it is scheduled. They're bringing the big bus because they are, they don't have the staffing to do it inside as of right now. So right now they're planning on bringing the bus to be able to do it, but, the goal is have 24 people be able to sign up or give, so that's a big goal, first big goal I've had since COVID, before COVID. So. So I'll be working on that. And then I'll slowly be looking at the Easter egg hunt, slowly. Slowly.
After first of the year.
This time finally like getting everything going away. And I'm able to enjoy the holiday stuff, trying to do my stuff, and it's like, we'll get there. But that's all I have.
All right, great. Since William's not here, let me take a shot at the finance committee. Oh,
Yes.
never mind. Brenda's got it.
Maybe, I usually take over.
That's fantastic.
All right, first thing we have is the draft resolution approving the 2023 outdoor warning siren system by Fulton. This is our normal contract every year.
Mhm.
It's like 900, 700,
I think
790
it was
something.
$850 or something.
Can't remember.
$790.40.
I read it. Okay.
Any discussion? You guys want to talk about that? or you- Good.
It'll be on the consent
nice.
agenda.
Yeah,
First-
unless somebody has an issue.
Nothing to discuss.
The same thing.
Bill?
I don't have any problem with it. Today when,
Tuesday.
was the siren late today going off?
Today it went off, yeah.
They said wasn't late.
Yes, it was late.
I don't know, I didn't look at my clock, I just heard it.
No, it was late.
I looked up, I didn't see no bomb.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it
No,
was,
The sirens are
No,
here.
there's.
Just
no,
here in town.
Whether I'm
fine.
here or home.
No,
they're
and-
behind me.
and Stillman, they were probably 10 minutes late.
No, I didn't-
Well, they're all set off by Ogle County.
Right.
So if there one's late, they're all.
Cause I was like, is that a siren? And I like literally walked over to the nearest door and I opened it. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like,
I
it
usually-
is the first Tuesday.
That's what I usually say out loud to myself. Okay, we're good with that. So the next item is resolution approving our engineering agreement with Wilton Hoffman for the RBI, the downtown grant,
Right.
something Illinois.
rebuild.
Street.
Yeah, rebuild
Main
Illinois,
Street.
that's it.
That's it.
Main
Yeah.
Street.
So this too will be on the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm good.
I do. I have
Where we going?
the alternative pricing, if they didn't build it, was supposed to be in what, 5.2.1 or something like that, but I didn't find a 5.2.1.
I'm looking at Matt. That's
What's that?
I hope he's looking at Matt, cause I don't. what he's
Do you have it up
saying.
there?
I don't know what happens
yeah.
if they don't, for some reason, the
Oh,
grant doesn't go through
it's
and
not
we've
fine.
already exercised it all.
Let me get down there, 5.2.
Then we're out
you
of
said?
money. We're just.
Well, there was supposed to be something because it said it in there.
Cause they said we had to have it
Is it
done by,
section 5?
No, that's where it
Oh.
said that the alternative pricing would be. It was underneath like the pricing.
Oh, is that on the-
I don't know. I'd have
don't
to
we have
see
a
it up on
deadline
the
of
board.
2020?
Yeah, that's not it.
I'm gonna go back to the index
We
again.
just have to-
Is it for termination or?
He's saying if they don't
They don't
I
give
don't know.
it to
Maybe you
us
could just explain that to me. What happens if we go through all the engineering and?
and they don't give us the money.
Yes, and somehow it doesn't.
Cause they spent it some other way.
I thought there was some
Oh,
alternative.
No, once you get the grant agreement,
Oh, okay,
the money is yours.
okay.
It's
And
just
we-
a matter of requesting it, so.
And we had till, what was it, 2024? Was that
Get the
it?
project.
That's why that's why we're gonna start the engineering process
Right,
early.
correct.
Because
Right.
it's gotta be done, right?
But I knew there was a deadline. I couldn't remember if it was 24 or 25.
Yeah, it's end of 24 is what they said, because it's got some of the money that's in the program's COVID money.
So what do they mean by it has to be done, like the engineering and all the construction, or?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we've got all the construction, so we request basically make our last request for funds
Okay,
by then.
okay,
So occupancy permit ready, tenant rolling in the door.
Oh, you wouldn't need tenant rolling in
I
the
know,
door. We
but
just,
plus-
yeah, yeah.
just costs, our costs.
And I'd have to take a look, once we get the grant agreement, to see whether. I don't think there's, even though the village has to come up with money, there may not be an actual technically a cost sharing in this. So if there's no cost sharing, then as you incur costs that are eligible, that the grant is paying for, you can request all of that fund. So there's probably gonna be a good chance that even if I don't know how they'll view it, but even if the project isn't 100% complete, there's probably a good chance that all the grant funds have been
Used.
used, and
taken.
stuff by the time we get close to the end.
Okay.
So,
so, and then in the grant, when you're taking care of, let's say the grant,
administration.
administration.
Yep, so with
you'll
the
be
grant,
putting,
yeah,
requesting
so,
that money or?
yeah,
Okay.
well, I'll be requesting it
Okay.
for you. So what
Okay,
we
good.
have to do for the grant administration is there's gonna be reporting for, financial reporting and performance reporting. There's gonna be apprenticeship reporting that we're gonna have to do. We'll have to request the funds as needed. And then we'll have closeout of the grant at the end. And then we'll probably have, once we do get the grant agreement, there could be some special conditions and stuff that we'll have to satisfy as well, but.
Right, here's the section I'm talking about, just so it makes it
Yep.
easier for you. 7.2.1 says if any portion of the project is not
There.
bid or put under contract for the period of 6 months after completion of the design phase, the engineer's compensation shall be in accordance with subsection 5.1.2. I failed to see the find a 5.1.2.
No, it's, but I think 5.1.2 is wrong. That should be in accordance with.
There you go, but, yeah, it's up.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let me see, I'm gonna be down here. It'll probably be in accordance with 7.1.7, which is it's just basically what we're just doing is billing you what we had in the project at the time if it didn't move forward. So
So like an hourly billing?
yeah, so wherever we're at, you just get billed up to that point, and if there's anything in the engineering agreement that we have, the fee is, we haven't used up all the fee, it just
All right.
stops there.
All right, that makes sense.
It just terminates.
Can you get me an amended agreement
Yep,
before
yep,
Friday?
yep.
Oh, I know you're leaving. Can somebody in your office get me an amended
Yeah.
agreement before Friday?
All right.
And then the rest will be on the consent agenda?
And anybody
Look
else have any
at-
questions?
When you do it, look at 7.2.3 too, because that refers to another section I didn't see in there.
7.2.3.
Oh, refers to subsection 522.
And I didn't see a
Oh.
5.
Oh, it's probably the same, the numbering's got changed.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if we're
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
well, before we sign the agreement, we probably,
7.2.2 and
Did you see a 5.2.2?
I did
I'll
not.
take a
All
look
right.
at those.
Okay,
Not-
all right. I usually don't read anything that closely, but
It does look
Okay.
like it's probably.
I was interested in what we would end up paying if for some reason we didn't get the grant, which,
Yep.
I don't know how that would work, but
anybody else have any questions? Good,
All good.
nothing from you, John?
No, I'm ready.
Bill?
question,
I don't see a problem with it.
Here's your answer.
As far as the 7.2 to the 7.2.3 and the 8.1 termination thing, we should be okay. I believe so.
All right.
okay.
Good.
All right, and the last thing is, a reminder, the tax levy hearing is next Tuesday at 7 o'clock during the normal meeting. We'll open the meeting up, then do the special hearing for the tax levy, and then we'll continue on with our meeting.
Didn't we used to have like 2 meetings for that?
Yeah.
Why?
trying something new.
Can we do that?
Yes.
We're trying to save the village
Actually,
money.
this is a recommendation from Dan Bolin. He said it reduces that lag time between meetings, encourages people to attend regular board meetings, and also prevents any potential Open Meetings Act violations from the lag time between the two meetings.
So we actually open the tax levy hearing, then close the tax.
No,
levy?
we open the meeting,
Yeah.
then we go into the
Oh.
public hearing, have a public hearing, close the public hearing, continue on with our meeting. We're gonna try something new. So Dan will be here next week to walk us through it.
Sounds
Gonna hand us
exciting.
all
I
a
can't wait.
$50 bill.
Really.
I like new stuff.
Thanks,
wouldn't-
Dan.
I
Always
wouldn't,
saving
I
us
wouldn't
money.
stand there with my
Talking
hand
to me
over
every
if I was you.
I bet you ain't bringing.
All right, Bill, what do you got from ordinance? Oh, sorry. are you
That's
done?
all I have.
Bill, what do you got for ordinance enforcement today?
Nothing today.
All right, nothing. John,
Um,
Parks Committee?
Yes, I spoke with Nate, as you all remember, we sort of kind of went back to the drawing board. It was the board's direction to bare bones the pond. Make it smaller, less money, so we could go out and get it done. If you read in your package, you're gonna see that the rework fee would, for lack of a better word, is $14,900. So Nate's just looking, we're just letting you know, is everyone comfortable with putting that on the agenda to continue to move forward? That this is the direction we,
Does this
All
cost
three.
more than just going with the original plan?
well, we didn't have the money for the.
14,900, Mark.
So basically, for those of you who didn't read it, it was $6,000 to change the engineering plans. There were updates that needed to go to stormwater for 1,200, earthwork quantities, and the updates and calculations for that was 1,500. And that also included the rebidding and any of the bid documents for 6,200 for a grand total of 14,900.
So it just, out of curiosity, or just to state, I will still have the old plans if for some reason we come into money.
Yes.
So
But
Yeah.
reduce.
we can use those without.
There'll be
it.
some.
But keep in mind,
reduction.
Fairground's gonna move forward, so we can get this out for bid. I'm assuming it was what, Sandy? What is it,
January 10th.
The 10th is Sandy's goal to get that out for bid. So if we get the money at that point, it's. a
I don't
moot
know.
point at that
Don't we
point.
have to see that what the reworking is?
Yeah.
We'll have all that up.
You will see it before January 10th.
There you go.
That was my understanding, they are aware that we need to see this before then. so.
Right.
And I am tired of discussing it on the agenda. January 10th is my deadline.
Nate was.
Hold on, let me write that.
I'm sorry for that, girl. That was.
January.
So, any
So I
questions?
thought we were just
comments?
downside or just moving the project size down. I didn't think we were
we doing it
downsizing
two
the
sections?
project.
Well, you are downsizing it, that and hence
Two seconds.
their original scope was for a larger pond, so now they're reworking the.
I thought
pond.
we were just waiting because of fuel costs.
Right.
No, so the project as it stands right now was bid at 1.6 million.
Right,
And which was about 400,000 more than anticipated.
right. And I thought we were paying like
Well, we-
90,000 of it was like for fuel and whatever it was.
So some of it was for tree removal, which Nate said he'll do himself.
Mhm.
Some of it was for some other minor things, but even if he was doing those things, we would not have reduced the cost below probably right around 1.5 million.
Okay.
We just don't have the funds for that. We
Okay.
budgeted 750,000 this year and 750,000 is our anticipation for next year. So we need to be able to bid it into a smaller project. And so the original bid was for soccer fields and the pond and
Right.
all of these.
Well,
we're
I just thought it was
removing-
like, I guess I was thinking we were just doing
That
the-
was,
like
the
that
discussion.
section,
So we're
like the
just
pond
the-
section.
Yeah,
That-
we are.
that's all this is.
That's what this 14.9 is gonna get you, is that section, that first phase broken down into 2 or 3 phases, so that we
Okay.
can do them as
Okay.
smaller.
And
projects.
But smaller projects, but not,
The-
I
not
keep
the
hearing
size.
smaller pond though, like the size
don't-
of the pond being smaller.
It's
I
gonna be
don't
brought
recall-
in, it's gonna be brought in some.
I
It's
believe
not
it's
gonna,
going smaller, but not.
yes, it
but
won't
not
be smaller.
shallower.
No, it's gonna be deeper. I mean,
Same depth.
Well, the
Similar
depth is
depth.
staying the same. We're just not going out to the
it's
shore.
just not gonna be as large, yes. Keep in mind, 6,200 of the 14,900 is what it costs to rebid it. So I mean, it's an additional 8,700. Because we all forced the rebid by denying the first one. So I mean, 6,200 of that
Not
well,
all of us. But that.
but what I'm getting,
You can only spend what you have.
Yeah, we just don't have 1.5 million, so this will
Right.
reduce the project into 2 or 3, I can't
But-
remember
Okay,
what it
that-
is
that just-
called.
I just didn't
confused
want
me.
to,
That
the
confused
point
me.
of this
Yeah.
before was, sorry.
No, I'm just saying like the way he was, it just confused me, like going, wait a minute.
Well,
Smaller.
Jen, as far as the fuel thing, that was ideas when we were all just collectively throwing
Right.
things out there that,
Right,
you know, by waiting and going to a bid again.
Right.
Fuel costs could come down,
right.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Essentially, being that the majority of that project is earthwork
Hmm.
Well, and the goal.
and nowhere to
is
put it.
Bid it in the winter when people are ramping up for their
So-
projects,
Right.
as opposed to trying to bid it in August or September.
Right.
Which is why.
Correct.
Well, that's what I think, that's what we had discussed. That's,
Yeah.
And the
that's why I
other,
Set a deadline of having the bid documents ready for you guys to look at by January 10.
So is it smallerness still going to be big enough for the capacity of what we need, or are we
Yeah.
just putting, we're just half-assing it?
No,
I'm sorry for
No.
better lack of term.
no, not at all. It's just by reducing the size of the pond, you reduce the size of the earthwork, you reduce the size of having to haul that dirt, you know, I
Comprehend
mean,
that.
we would save even more money if we knew what the outcome was gonna be with the land purchase behind us, because that would give us an option to take the dirt off for an interim period of time, leave the dirt sitting over there rather than, you know, have the contractor, whoever that may be, having to haul it off site. That's the largest
Right.
cost, was almost $1 million to dig that and haul the dirt off site. That's the largest cost of the
I
project.
think I need to clarify my question a little bit better. When we originally did this, the size of the pond that we were doing originally was going to be the size we needed to be, what they expect for us to need, right? Or was it above and beyond our needs?
It was never about the actual, I mean, for what are you talking
Or
about?
not
Like
our-
water retention?
Like the retention portion of it itself.
Oh,
Like I
that
thought we were
will-
making it bigger to handle, so we didn't have the
all that
overflow
water,
power
yeah,
problem and
flows
everything else.
through.
So my question is are we doing it enough that we're not gonna have to come and revisit this when it overflows into the other side? 'Cause
Correct.
I mean, then it's still still a problem, sorry. And we still have to address it. I don't understand why we wouldn't do it right the first time while we're digging already. I mean,
Well,
the
you
cost is
can-
gonna be the
you-
cost this time around or next time around or today or tomorrow. I just don't
Well,
understand.
whatever they do, they better take care of the berm. I mean,
Why don't we wait and see what they draw?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I mean,
You know,
they're not,
The truth is, it's, while it's some water retention, it's not the end all, the beat all for the village. I mean, it's partially water retention, but we could have built a retention pond without an actual pond.
I was just under the impression that the original plan was gonna take care of the
It's
needs
blue.
that we had
It's
for
blue,
the
yeah.
retention portion of that.
Alright, no,
but it was, like I say, Nate, it was the size, it was the finish, it was the liner, it was a whole bunch of different things that added for,
it's the original plan, and so this portion of the pond will be reduced.
is coming in.
Yeah, this section right here will come.
Keep in
in.
mind, this was the original
Yeah,
size. to
this
begin
is the
with.
original
So
pond
really, we're just digging out what we got.
and fixing it.
Just
Right,
making
right,
it
right.
much deeper. What
And
was it again?
fixing
16,
the
18?
over, or the retention.
That could change some.
Oh, yeah, I know, but even so, what's it now? 5 feet? If that?
Well, that's because it eroded it.
I understand, and it's gonna do it again, because that's,
Not in my lifetime.
that's probably true. Or, but that is the nature of erosion, you know, it flows down.
Well, actually, though, you
Black
could, you,
zone.
you could be incorrect to a point, because with the liner and some of the liners they have some days, right, Matt? That's what keeps some of the erosion away, is the liners. This pond didn't have a liner.
Well, the farmland above it is all
This
high.
pond didn't have a liner.
I understand, but the farmland is all above it. The silt will come
And
down.
the silk comes through.
I mean, I don't care what you do. You can put whatever. you
Downhill
want.
eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Not in John's lifetime, though.
It
2
looks-
years, it's gonna be fine.
It looks like from the notes.
How long
that-
did it take to do what it did now?
Can I answer your question?
Probably
Please.
Sorry.
Thank you. It looks like from the notes that it was originally at a depth of 15 feet, and it looks like the revised one will be 10.
So we're going 5 feet less deep and we're losing quite a section of it. I mean, a third of the pond.
Now we're keeping the original.
We're dropping it.
Yes, we're only gonna make it 10 acres.
15 that was planned, and we're gonna lose, I don't know, a third of the pond that was originally spec'd out. Cause that blurb up there is about a third. Okay, move on. I don't know what we can do about it today, right?
Okay, so you want this not on the consent agenda for approval then?
Yes.
Or on-
It still has to be an approval to get the process going, right? Like we all,
It does, but.
the
it
whole point of
doesn't
this was
mean
to,
that If somebody is uncomfortable with it and will be voting no against moving forward on this part, we should not put it on the consent agenda. If everybody is comfortable with it as is, then we can put it on the consent agenda.
I say you take a look at it when you, take it off the consent agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just put it
prefer
under
not to be on
John.
The consent agenda.
Okay, I'll put it under John for approval.
Did they already do the engineering work?
Yeah. No, I've got, they made notes on their previous engineering notes as to what it is, that.
No,
we
but they haven't
wanted.
done their 14,000 yet.
Yeah, no.
All right, that's what I was asking.
No, I've got literally like those red lines, they X this out,
All right.
add
Well,
this or do this.
Once again, 6,200 of that is to re.
No, I get it.
It's only $8,700.
Right, we don't have the money for the other, I get it. So I'm not,
I mean, I'd love to do what we originally planned. It's just an issue of, money.
right, well, yeah, but if we can find the money to do a section of it, completely like we wanted to, and then hold off and then do the next session when we have them. But we said we were gonna do it in phases originally.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we would do the phases as we saw fit, as we had the money to do it, in the order that we saw most
But we
most
couldn't afford
beneficial to the
phase.
community.
Yeah, 'cause
So,
we thought if we're gonna be moving dirt around, we might as well do all the dirt thing.
Right.
well, we kind of need to know the status of the property that we were,
All right, we have other things that
Right.
we need answered.
right?
so there's a few
You
loose
don't
ends
have
on
any
that. so.
information on that, Brenda?
Oh,
No,
Brenda's
we'll
working.
have more.
I thought Nate,
I am not involved in that process.
I thought Nathan was doing.
I
it.
Nobody's
did not know
asked
there
me-
were some phone calls that we're supposed to have between
Yeah,
Billy.
nobody asked me to submit anything, so
not me.
no, I don't know anything.
All right,
Well,
What's he gonna call?
yeah, they were already communicating, so. Or-
we got anything for him today there, Mr. Fergie? Nothing? Nothing? Zippo, all right, nothing for streets and ditches, utilities.
Do we have anything either?
What?
All quiet there.
Oh, utility bills went out. I don't know if you guys saw the post on a village Facebook page, but usage last month was a little high. I'm gonna blame a lot of people having Thanksgiving at their house.
Oh.
So if anybody contacts you regarding their usage or their water bill being ridiculously high, we should I've encouraged everybody to call Village Hall to check their usage.
Is that from washing dishes, you think?
It's usually people in the restroom and
Everybody
hopefully
cleaned their house
washing
for the first
hands.
time in a while, the company.
I was gonna say, there was none at my- it wasn't
Really
in my
bad.
house.
There were a few people who went from a normal usage of 5,000 to 6,000 gallons that were almost
Few
pushing
family members
20.
showering.
What?
They must have.
Wasn't my house.
They must have
Yeah.
company for a while. Mine
It's
stayed
the
the same.
season.
How much money we
How much
talking
company
about
did you
extra
get?
usage? I just
It
think
had
they're-
nothing to do with
be
us. it's just
griping
an
about,
individual.
People.
We're not griping about it. We're
General.
making money, but.
No, I know that, but they can't be hollering about much.
Oh, they do.
Ooh, what?
You know.
All about everything, Bill.
Yeah, they do.
We lose money, by the
Only if it's one
Just
thousand
saying.
gallon.
I thought we broke even.
way.
All right, that is all for me, since Sandy stuck some else in there.
Anything on the Verizon lease? You hear anything? 'Cause I
Uh-uh.
sure haven't.
If we
I have
should
a,
ask Dan.
Jen, I have a question on the Verizon lease. This is the one that, they keep changing attorneys on us on, is
Yeah.
this correct? Okay. You know,
Mhm.
I'm getting burned out on this. And I guess I'm not alone. I wonder why we have to put up with them changing attorneys. By that, here's what I mean. Either way, it's costing us money. Let's take their stuff out. Let them come after us. Then we can get to court. They'll bring us into court. We'll be in there. We got them in there. And now we can go to work. This way, they keep coming up with all these excuses.
Well, they're,
And here
just-
we are,
they're
you
not
know?
communicating with our attorneys. They don't answer anything.
Okay, let's pull their stuff.
I'm not
Either,
going
you know,
there to pull it.
pardon
What are
me?
you gonna do?
I don't think we have the right to. pull.
I don't care if we have the right or not. Let our attorneys handle it and
'Cause they're
these
still
people will
paying,
force
right?
us into court.
Yeah.
I think
They're
that's
still paying
kind
their
of,
rent, correct?
Yes.
and
What kind of, you know, is it that much money?
No.
No, that's
This is
the thing,
still
it's
from
not
the
a- so
water
there's
tower. We
not,
got
there's
the
not really anything.
Option when we accepted the money.
It's the
We did,
lack
I
of
kept it for a
maintenance
while.
that we.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh,
Moving on, Chris.
Sorry.
that, okay, I still haven't, I don't have an answer yet.
I don't either because they're
Don't
not
have an
answering
I-
anything.
Okay, well, okay, why can't we you know, they can't continue their signal if we don't have their stuff there on our property.
But they have a lease with us.
I don't care what they have. Let them say we broke it.
So Bill,
Look what they're doing.
Bill, Val, would you like this on the agenda next week when Attorney Dan Bolton will be here and you can ask him?
Sure, I think that would be good for us to have.
Let's do that.
Attendance would
Because
be
they're
good.
usually pretty good at handling our stuff and they come up with some brainy stuff, you know?
Well, Dan will be here and you can talk to him about it next
All right.
week.
Attending meetings helps that.
What was that? What?
I said sometimes showing up for meetings helps that.
Thanks.
So you want to give us an update on the LR lease?
I do. Oh, you're looking at him? Good. because
I don't
emailed
like
both of
it.
you.
I don't like anything about it.
Did you guys receive my email today?
Yeah.
I did. I
Okay.
didn't look at it.
So I'm letting you know right now.
Okay, I've
wasn't-
talked to both of you separately about the thoughts on the agreement, but neither one of you told me that you had talked to the other and that I proceed in responding with the concerns that I had discussed with both
We
of you.
haven't.
So
we-
could you two chat and let me know then, or respond?
We need to do it
Aaron
in private.
yourself? Yes, could you two
Alright.
chat not with other people in the room and then either get back to me or one of you two respond to Aaron yourselves, or just feel free to tell him I don't like any of it and see where it goes from there.
Sure,
Okay.
got it. Oh,
Thank you.
Update.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I wish it's done tonight.
What about the computer and server management? What's that up there?
That's a follow-up from last week's conversation about our issues. I did meet with another computer company at the recommendation of William. I was very impressed with their services as well. Their scope is much larger than what we've been typically offered in the past, but so is their price tag. So I do have another meeting tomorrow with CMJ to see kind of where a comparable scope of coverage would be. So we'll see where we end up. So
You had some concerns about the other company that was recommended. Were they able to do the certifications that you were concerned
Yes.
about?
yes. And they pointed out quite a few things that they're the first person who's pointed out to me. So very impressed with them, but their price tag shows it.
Okay.
So
Are you nodding in agreement?
No,
Yeah.
she was very impressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even I was for all the
Yeah.
stuff that I included.
yeah, so their services would include all of your guys' laptops and all of our computers within the village. They don't do anything less than a full coverage. So I'm gonna go back to CMJ, who I got the original quote from, and kind of see what's the middle ground between the two.
All right. And then once you get back to that, can we put it on the agenda right away to
Yes,
resolve?
yes, I will have it. Hopefully I'll have something by next week that we can look at.
The refund for the Meridian?
Rick told me that there was no update. He has not heard back from
No
PJ.
update. Okay.
Changing of guards slows down things.
And the last but not least is the salt for the sale of the salt. Not really.
I talked to Kenny this morning. He said that he talked to PJ and PJ and Rick have not talked, so that's still also on hold.
All right.
Just not answering calls.
On hold.
Not necessarily.
All right.
All right. So Glenda,
What's that?
you have anything for us tonight?
Here's your-
Jeremy?
Yep. No, I don't have anything. Thanks for asking.
Hey, no problem.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Well,
How about anything else?
I think, right, yeah, you gotta finish this stuff, don't you?
I do, because is there any other anybody else have anything before we go? Because there is no other public. The public, is there anybody that, if anybody has anything they want to say before John adjourns us out of here? No?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
John made a motion to adjourn. Nathan seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're out.
7:50.
Motion passes.
Hold on, 7:54.
You're gonna throw that away. What do you?